And today we need 32 of your base body colored bead, and that could be whatever color you like, and 2 of the eye colored beads, which you can do black, or here I've done sparkly darker colored clear bead. And so once you're done, this is what the final product will look like. This is not my original idea. I just saw it on TikTok and then I just made it myself. I didn't look at a tutorial or anything. And later I looked up the tutorials and I didn't see one like mine, and I didn't really think the ones online right now captured the spirit of the worm on a string. So I just wanted to share how I made it, because I feel like it looks much more slender and longer. So this does end up being pretty long. It's like the size of 2 of my hands, basically. It's pretty long, but you can make keychains. I will be posting a later tutorial on how to make, I'm going to make an entire belt with them. I like to use elastic string because it doesn't dry rot like clear string can, but if clear string is all you have, that'll be fine for at least years and years. So you'll probably be good with that. It just won't last that long. And so what I like to do is I like to lay out all my beads first, just to make it easier to do. But the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to hold both sides, and you're going to take one bead and just thread it through and let it fall to the bottom. This is the step where you have to be careful not to make the ends of the string uneven. So you want to put one string threaded through and then another string, and we're going to do 6 single beads like this. And when I string it, I like to match up the ends, pinch them, and then pull it all the way through so that you get equal edges. And then for the following ones, you just repeat that step. You just pull it taut, and then sometimes if you pull it like all loose like I like to, just to make it faster, you gotta readjust it sometimes. But it'll start to make a tail. It's just like making a lizard, except for pretty much it doesn't have the arms and it's longer. So we're doing 6 of these single beads. And you can try and pull it fairly even, but it might get messed up, a little bungled, and that's normal. You just have to straighten it. And sometimes I find that if the string isn't like straight, you can shake it out and start stringing again so that it doesn't end up looking not right. So this is our 5th bead. And then it'll start to naturally form that pattern you want. So after you have all 6 there, I don't know, this might be too fast, but we'll see. So then you do the same thing. You take 2 beads, and we're going to do 7 rows of the 2 beads in your main body color. And then you string 1 bead, string the 2nd bead, and push that one through, and then you pull on both sides. And then you just repeat that 7 times. And when I'm doing this, sometimes I'll find that once I'm finished, the string, if, like I said, if it gets like bunched up in an area and sometimes you don't let it unravel, then you may have to take it apart because it can like lift an area of it. So, but after making a few, it's really, really easy. And if you know how to make a lizard, you can pretty much just look at the laid out beads and make it. So, or you can follow along. And then you'll see it starting to get longer and longer. And that's what we want. And I just felt, after I made one, I had Googled the tutorials and I totally felt like it was too thick. Because my cats really like playing with the worms, those worm on the strings. So I've seen them a lot and I just didn't think that it really matched the spirit of the worm. So we're almost there. This is our last row, and these are all body colored beads so far. You could always do like an ombre if you wanted to. I'm just doing a single color because see how I was talking about how if you don't do that, sometimes stuff like this will happen. But if it's close enough to the top, you can kind of get the string to straighten itself out. But sometimes you will just have to, unravel it. See how it can stick up sometimes? It's just if the string just wasn't in the right position. So I'm actually going to take this off and I'll cut to after. So the way I would fix this is just to take them off. And it sucks and you got to just notice when it happens, especially with this string. I didn't have this issue with the clear string when I made it with that, but I'll just redo these sections real quick. And I wanted to show you guys the raw uncut version of this because I've made like 4 of these and they still get messed up. So if you don't succeed at first, you gotta just try again until you do it successfully. It's basically the same stitch as, I'm pretty sure, like a ladder stitch, I think it's called. But you see how this is now fixed? So I'll just restring the rest and get back to you. You see how it can kind of get tangled, so that can affect how good your piece looks. Okay, so now that I've restrung that part that got messed up, I'm going to start on the rows of 3. So the first row of 3 is just your body bead color, and there's going to be 2 rows of 3. Oh no. And so you want to kind of clasp them like this, and then it gets harder to thread, and then you want to be threading this in the opposite direction. It gets really hard sometimes to do it, especially when you have 3. So you just gotta, 3's a little harder. So you just gotta hold it pretty taut. it's not something you can get perfect every time, and you mess a few things up, that's natural. Because I see these tutorials and they do everything perfectly, and especially in one where you're working with me, I wanted you guys to really see how long it takes. So you could put nail polish on this knot or anything you have. I currently don't have anything, so I won't cut it down too short, but you can cut it down I'd cut it down about that short until you can. You could always cut it down short with no glue or sealant, but you know, you would be worried about the knot untying, so I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. But it's barely visible once you cut those short. Okay, so now we're gonna do four single rows again, just like the tail, to do his long little nose. So you put it in, and you put this in. Yeah, so a tricky part can be measuring the string correctly, but I don't know. I just test it out and see what works for you. Maybe I'd start long, so like I'd start long so that you wouldn't run out like I did. But even if you do run out, it's not that big of a deal. You can always tie it up. You can see the knot, but if you tuck the knot inside, it'll be completely invisible. I didn't cut the ends, but it'll be completely invisible. So it really doesn't matter if you mess up that. It's just like it just takes longer. Okay, so I have quite a short end here, and that wouldn't be ideal. So I would just, hopefully you'd have longer ends, so cut it actually a little bit longer than your arm. Because I cut this to the length of my forearm, like here to here, and it actually needed to be like around here, maybe to your sleeve length on your shirt, or where that would typically fall. So after this, you can triple, double, quadruple knot it, whatever you think is best. I can pull on it a lot, so that generally stays. Especially if you're gluing it, you only need 2 or 3 knots. But as you can see, this is the worm, our finished worm. The full tutorial for the rainbow worm belt will be out soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Have a good day and rest of your week.